Hi friends. All right, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. But also, if you're new here, my name is Amber and welcome to my channel, Mama to All Homestead. On my channel, you will find food bank hauls, simple Southern cooking, canning and preserving, and frugal tips to save money. Today's video is a canning video. If y'all remember correctly, the other day at the food bank, I received a bunch of these 8-ounce little 2% milks. Today is the day I'm canning them. So if that is the kind of content you enjoy watching, I would appreciate it if you would take and like and subscribe to my page. Every like, subscribe, share, comment, it all helps me. You're supporting me and my family in a little bit of a way, so I really do appreciate it. And if that's not the content you appreciate and like, then go ahead, by all means, keep on scrolling past. So today, as I said, I am canning milk. It is a rebel canning method. The USDA does not approve of it, but do your research and make your own decision for you and your family. I choose to do it. I have no issue with it. It's safe, and that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping this milk from going to bad. I choose to can it. It's going to go on my shelf. I will say the flavor will change slightly because the sugars inside the milk will caramelize. Therefore, it will have a slightly sweeter, almost like an evaporated milk. So, I mean, it does alter the flavor a little, but I use it for cooking, making gravies, using it in soups, smoothies, like if you need a little extra liquid, even in coffee if you run out of creamer. I mean, it works. Mashed potatoes, you name it. I use it for cooking, oatmeal, all that stuff. And now I remember why I hated these little milk cartons in school. Some of them are a pain in the butt to open. So basically all I'm doing is taking my jars, pouring the milk directly into the jar. Nothing fancy, nothing special. And that's what I'm going to continue to do, is pour the milk into the jars. The color of this milk will change slightly once it's been canned. And also, an important step, I should have said this already, is cold. You want everything cold. When canning milk, you want cold jars, cold milk. You want your pressure canner to be cold as well. So, cold water. Don't put hot water, put cold water in your canner. Cold milk goes into cold jars, okay? I know most time you want your jars hot, but that is because typically your product is hot. In this case, your product is going to be cold. So everything will be started off at the same temp, cold. This is super simple, you guys, too. It's an easy way to save money. I mean, say you go to the store and they've got a lot of milk that's getting ready to go by its sell-by date. And by the way, that is just a sell-by date, not a best by, not a you're going to die if you eat it or drink it past this date. It is a best by, sell-by, recommended date. It's not a set in stone date. So say you go to the store and the milk is on sale. Go ahead, buy it. If you have a pressure canner, take it home and can it up and put it on your shelf. You can freeze milk too, so that's another option. I do not have the freezer space to freeze milk, so I am putting it in jars, canning it up, and putting it on my shelf. And this is all milk that I received at the food bank. And if I did not know how to do this, then I would be struggling trying to get all this used without it spoiling on me. And I'm telling you, I remember these cartons, they are not my friend. And also, it doesn't matter what size jars you're using to can milk in, because everything will be processed at the exact same time, whether you are processing quarts, pints, half pints, it does not matter. I am processing these in pints. Reason being, that's what I have more empty jars of right now. And it just, you know, it's a perfect amount that if I open 1 pint, it's probably all I'm going to need to make a batch of gravy for the family or add to soup. I do like to have some quarts on hand, but most of my quarts are being used. Like I said, I have more empty pints than I do anything else. So that is what I'm going to use, and can up some milk. So basically, like I said, all I'm doing right now, pouring milk into jars and struggling with some of the cartons. Not all of them. Some of them are being nice. Have you guys ever canned milk? And if so, put it down in the comments. What do you use it for? Is this also the process you use to can milk? I know y'all haven't seen everything, but we're getting there. All right. And it is a little oddly warm today. It was just super cold and like 20 degrees in the morning, and now it's like almost 60 degrees. Like yesterday it was super warm too, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I kind of like the cold weather, so I kind of wish it would come back. All right, you guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 back in the fridge. Out of all of these, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pints. I'm going to put these 2 in the fridge. We'll get these used up, no issue. Now, because we are canning milk, and milk is a dairy product which can curdle. Typically, when you're wiping the rims on your jars, you're going to wipe using vinegar. However, this being milk, you do not want to use anything acidic, so no vinegar. Take a dry paper towel, just dry, wipe, you can't really see me, but wipe the top of the rim with a dry paper towel, okay? Like I said, no vinegar, nothing acidic. It will cause your milk to curdle and go bad, and then you will have wasted all that time. Okay, so basically, I'm just going to go around and make sure all the tops of my jars are nice and dry. And you can can any kind of milk. I will go ahead and tell you that. You can actually can chocolate milk and use it for drinking purposes. So if you have a store that has some chocolate milk going on sale, go ahead and snatch it up and can it. Like my kids, they'll drink it. There's not really been an issue with that one. Use it in making hot cocoa too, the regular milk. Like when you can it up, I mean, it's delicious. So I have seen quite a few people can milk. I purchase store shelf stable milk as well. If it's on sale, that is. So yeah, I'm excited to see how all this turns out and let you guys follow along with me. So now I'm just going to take my lids and I'm just placing them on top of my jars. Y'all can't really see me. I don't know what happened. I was borrowing my daughter's, let's see here. So yeah, I'm just taking these and putting them on there. I was borrowing her little phone stand thing, but it's just kind of disappeared out of my kitchen. I don't know where it went. So I'm just going to continue putting lids on my jars. All right, now that I have lids on all my jars, I'm going to be putting some rings on my jars, and you just want them fingertip tight. tried canning almond milk though, or other milks. I feel like that would be interesting. So if any of you have ever canned like your other milks, almond milk, all nut milks like cashew milk, or even coffee creamer. Have you guys found coffee creamer on sale and canned it? I have yet to try that. Eggnog, that would be something cool to get shelf stable. If you've done that, let me know. So now that I've got lids and rings on all of my jars, I'm going to take them over here. And again, my canner is cold. It's cold. The water in it is cold. I am just going to place these directly into my canner. I know y'all are a little far away, but I'm going to be walking back and forth, taking these cold jars and placing them in a cold canner. All right, now my canner is big enough that I can do 2 layers. So now I'm going to take my other, whatever you call this thing, I can't remember what it's called, and I'm going to set it on top of my jars. Once I have that set on my jars, as I said, once I have that set on my jars, I'm going to take these remaining 4 jars and put them on top of it. Rack, I think, canning rack. All right, so now I'm going to bring you guys closer. Woo. All right, let's see here. So, as you see in here, I have all of it. It's all still cold. Okay, I'm going to take my lid. Let's see if I can prop you guys up right here without you falling. I don't know. All right, haha, y'all are good. All right, I'm gonna take my lid, which I've already inspected. My vent is clear. This is good. My gauge is good. My seal is good. Always inspect before you use your canner. I'm gonna place it on. I'm gonna close it up. Now, I'm turning my heat on. That's it. I'm turning my heat on. When this starts to vent, I'll bring you guys back because that is when we will move on to the next step. All right, I shall return. All right, you guys, so it has started to vent. You can't really see it. Well, yeah, you can, some. It has started to vent, so we will continue to do like normal, and we're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes, not 1 minute, for 10 minutes, and we're gonna allow it to vent for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, okay, this is where it's important. After 10 minutes of venting, I'm going to take my weight and I'm going to put it on, okay? And as soon as it hits 10 pounds of pressure, I'm going to kill the heat. Literally. I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes. I'll put my weight on. As soon as it hits 10 pounds of pressure, I'm going to kill it. So I will be back and keep you guys updated. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you back because looking at my gauge, it is getting there. It is slowly moving up to the 10. And as soon as that needle gets to that 10, I am going to kill the heat. I am going to turn it off and I will explain to you from there. So right now, it is slowly creeping. Having this gauge is very nice, but you don't have to have a canner with a gauge. Some have what's called a jiggler, and it's weighted, and when it starts to jiggle, you'll know you're at that pound. So whether it be 10 pounds, 15 pounds. This, though, canning milk does not matter your elevation. I don't care what elevation you are, you want to bring it up to 10 pounds, and that's it. So you see right there, we're almost there. So it's so simple, guys. It's a very simple way to have milk shelf stable. Use it for cooking, use it for drinking. I mean, I personally, we don't drink milk around here anyway. We use it in drinks like hot chocolate, coffees, and we use it for cooking. All right, so we hit 10 pounds. I just killed the heat, turned it off. Now, from there, this canner will sit there. It will stay on the eye. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna move it. I'm not taking that weight off. I'm not doing anything. I will let it sit here. I will go about my day. It will do what's called a natural release. That will come all the way down, and then I will take and turn the lid. Well, once the pressure goes down, I'll remove the weight. I will turn the lid, and I will allow it to cool down even more before I remove the jars. If you are not careful and you open that lid too soon, you will cause siphoning. So I will bring you guys back once we have the stuff removed. And you can see the finished product of canned milk. All right, you guys. All right, you guys. So it has came down to pressure. I have let the lid came off of it some. It's still very hot to the touch, so we're going to be very careful. And I'm going to set this lid off. I don't see any real big bubbles coming from this top row, so be very careful. I got my tongs, and I'm just going to pull it out. And we're going to set it over here. I did have some siphoning because I can see that on this, which is normal. I mean, you're going to. It's canning, and actually that's a lot. Huh. Let's see here. It could just be siphoning, but that liquid at the bottom looks like it's nothing but milk. But looking at my jars, nothing's cracked. So it could, like I said, could just be siphoning. Maybe one of my jars. I have a feeling that's the one that siphoned right there, possibly. It was one on top, that's for sure. And see, it's still really hot, so it happens. Doesn't mean that your product's no good or anything. It just means wash that top off really well. So that one is still really bubbly. And it's a little lower than the others, which see how the headspace on it is now lower, and same thing with this one back here. It's lost some headspace. So I mean, I've had some siphoning, which is a-okay, not the end of the world. Pull these last two out. Trying to get them all to fit on this towel. I do have some other stuff under the towel that I've already canned this morning. So, let's see here. And last. Alright, so now I am not going to touch these. I will say you will get mixed reviews as to whether you should cover them with a towel or not. My granny always told me cover them with a towel. And the reason I cover them with a towel is to keep them safe from any kind of draft, cold air coming through, because you don't want to shock your jars. They just came out of that hot canner. So now I'm going to leave these here. I'm going to leave them alone. I'm not going to touch them until tomorrow. And tomorrow I will take the rings off and I'll put them on my shelf. But as you can see, you guys, very simple. Shelf stable milk. So if you feel safe doing it, give it a try.